Hello everyone and welcome back to the Rachelle Anne Miller YouTube channel. Today I have a Christmas card to share with you. I don't know if you saw the new release from this month. It was at the beginning. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. There are 4, if I'm not mistaken, amazing digital stamps released like this one, where you have a big word and then they are embellished with some cute critters. Really adorable, and I love the script of the words. It's out there, but it's so cute at the same time. So today I'm featuring the Christmas Joy digital stamp, and I'm just using my Copic markers to color it in. I will keep it really simple, as I always like to do, but still with some coloring. If you are curious towards the Copic combinations, they are listed in the description box down below, and I will also link towards this specific digital stamp there. So my coloring, as always, I'm going from darkest to lightest, but you do you. If you have another way of coloring, another order of your markers, then definitely use that one. As long as you're having fun, you like the end result, that's perfectly fine. So I started with the critters here because I had no clue what to do with the letters, and in the end I ended up using a purple and a tiny bit of blue to color in that joy, and I really love how it turned out. Of course, I still had to figure out what to do with the rest of the card, so I took some pattern paper to just add some more color to this card. But there are so many ways to use this particular digital stamp. There are tons of inspirations out there from the design team. If you want to have like one overview of all of the ideas that are out there from the design team so far, you can always find them on the website itself. For each particular digital stamp, they are added to that particular page of that digital stamp. And I always get inspired, and even though there are tons of inspirations out there, I'm sure that you can figure out another way to incorporate this gorgeous digital stamp into one of your cards. So don't forget, if you create a stunning card with one of the digital stamps from Rachelle Anne Miller, there is this Facebook group. I'm also linking towards it in the description box, where we'd love to see all of your creations. On Instagram, definitely use the hashtag tag ram stamps, so that we can see what you're creating, because we can all inspire each other and get some new ideas going. So here for the kangaroo, I used some E markers, E37, E33, E53, and as you can see, I'm building up this image. My first layer most of the time is truly rubbish, like I sometimes don't even see it come together concerning the blend and such, but I just keep adding layers until I love it, and most of the time 2 layers are just what I need, but sometimes I need a bit more, and you can just keep adding. The paper that I printed this image on is Transit High Perfect coloring paper. It's a great paper that can handle quite a lot of moisture from your alcohol markers. But in case you're using another paper, or in case you blend like with tons of ink, you can always heat set your images in between so that your paper doesn't get too oversaturated, and then you can just continue. Now here I just took my hex chart to help me decide which colors would go together, purple with blue. But in case you don't have a hex chart and you really want a lovely overview, there are free templates from Rachelle Anne Miller for your Copics, for I think Uhu markers as well. And if you need another one, you can always message Rachelle. Maybe she can help you, and maybe she can create another template that you need. Open for suggestions. But truly, get yourself a template. It's really a world of difference if you just have a quick overview of all of your markers, that can really help you deciding which markers will go together, and maybe you will try out some new combinations. So do that in case you don't have it yet. And as I said, it's a free template, so why wouldn't you? And it's also really adorable because she includes each time a tiny cute critter as well, so just have fun with that. So here I decided upon my purple markers and then that one blue marker that I wanted to use to really have the bottom really dark. And I just scribbled a bit. I know, not what I usually do, but I truly had no idea how to do this with the blue and then make sure that it was in that letter. So I just scribbled to see how much area I had, and I started with the lightest because you can always go over the lightest with your darkest marker. So I did that, and in the end it turned out quite great. I really love it, but you do need a bit of area to ink blend, so keep that in mind if you want to do something similar. But it was really a ton of fun. Something that you can also do is embellish these letters a bit more if you want to. I had these lights here and I didn't want to overdo it, but take your white Jelly Roll pen, take some glitter if you have, take your glossy accents if you have, and just have fun embellishing these letters. They are big enough so that it can make an impact. I really love that about it. The lights, I use 2 markers to color in the lights. You don't really see that much of a difference, but then I went around the lights as well with another 3rd marker to sort of get that glow, and I also went over that purple. I didn't mind doing that, and you can actually see it a tiny bit, so later on it will be more visible, but so that there is like this glow around the lights. I don't do this all the time either. I think it's a bit scary because if it doesn't turn out great, you just ruined your whole coloring, but I really love how it turned out. I also used some glossy accents in the end to add to the lights so that they would really appear like real lights. It's always fun if you can incorporate those tiny details and the recipient will notice. And I always get like these lovely reactions when it comes to glossy accents or like heat embossing. Like people are just amazed that it's an option, that you can really add gloss to a card and such. It's because they don't do the same craft as we, but I mean, added bonus. So for the pattern paper, I ended up using this Petite Paper Pack Stripes and Sprinkles from Lien. This has a great purple stripe in it, but something was still missing. So I made sure to add the pattern paper to my card base. I trimmed off the excess, then I had to trim down that panel with the joy on top. Always lovely if you can add a cute border on top, and there are many ways to do a border. You have these scissors, you have dies that are originally intended to be a square or rectangle or a frame, like this one here. It's the Nesting Decal A2 die. I really adore it. I made a ton of cards like this with pattern paper where I needed a lovely border, and this rough edge, I just love it. So I used that to trim down my panel and have a border. I don't need the upper border, but at least it's die cut. And then I needed to figure out how high or low I wanted to place this. But the thing was that when I was testing this, I was just like, it's too white. Even though the pattern paper is completely purple, different shades, for me it just wasn't working. And my joy itself, the pattern paper was the same color or almost as the upper part of the joy, but it just was too light to go underneath for me, if underneath this white area as well as that darker color that I used on the bottom of the joy. So I just added some distress ink. I added Dusty Concord to more of mimic my letters, and this gradient that I left worked for me. I was really happy with it. I was more convinced about the fact that it wasn't too white, because it just adds something more. It's a bit more interesting. So I did that, and then I had to trim down, of course, this panel. I always love to trim down the 2 sides, and then the part that is hanging over, I am trimming that down with my paper trimmer. It's really handy because this way you don't have that tiny sliver, a millimeter or even less, that there is like, if you cut too much off before adhering it, you're screwed. And if you cut it off once you adhered it, then you will cut exactly the excess off. I also decided to add a tiny bit of grounding. I'm not really convinced about doing this all the time. I think it's really scary, and I don't think it's really needed. in most of the clean and simple card cases, but I tried it out here, and in the end it turned out okay. I'm happy that I added it, but if I wouldn't have added it, I was happy with the card as well. So that's up to you, what you like or what you don't like. So I just did that, and then sometimes with a colorless blender you can push back a bit of the color and make the edge less rough. So that's what I did. And then, as I said in the beginning, I'm adding this glossy accent to all of the lights. Really adorable. It's just a tiny tiny drop each time of glossy accents, and that will be my card for today. I really hope that this card can inspire you and that you will check out these amazing digital stamps that Rachelle Anne Miller just added to the shop in the beginning of this month. They are gorgeous and you will love all of them. Thank you so much for visiting this YouTube channel and for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll be back soon with some new crafting inspiration. Bye!